Hi, good to see you again, and hi to those of you who recently subscribed. Thank you so much for helping me reach 200 subscribers. I can't believe that there are 200 people who have watched my silly videos and have subscribed. Why? But in all honesty, it's been really nice getting to read your feedback and comments and answering questions. Thank you for watching my videos and thank you for subscribing. I'm going to do my best to make more content this year and upload more consistently. I know I've struggled with that in the past, but that's something I really want to try and accomplish this year. So if you look behind me, you'll see that I'm in a different room because I moved again, and I'm actually back in the States living with my family. And I've been doing well so far, but actually getting here from Korea was really difficult. Once I made the decision to leave Korea, there was so much I had to do that at times I felt really overwhelmed. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, so that if anyone is in the situation like I was a few months ago, I'm just hoping that this can be some sort of help to them. I'll be sharing some general information about the steps that I took, and I'll be keeping things kind of brief, but I will be making more detailed videos about some of the steps and linking them back here later. So just to set the scene, I made the decision to move back because I was struggling emotionally and mentally. The end of 2020 was really chaotic, and one of the first things that kind of led to this was that I was going through a breakup, and while we ended on good terms, any breakup is difficult to process and get through. And then not long after that, a coworker of mine got the coronavirus. So some of us, including myself, had to get tested and then self-quarantine at home. And then not long after that, some of us, again including myself, got laid off from our jobs due to the pandemic. And these things happen like one after the other, and the stress and emotional toll of everything just kept building and building. And once I lost my job, everything just hit me at once, and it was really, really hard. So I got some help and started thinking through my options, and I realized that I needed the support of my family and friends back home to get through everything. So once I made that decision, I sat down and wrote out a list of what I needed to do. Like I said, I'm gonna try to be brief, but there are a lot of steps, and you may not need to do all of these steps. This was for my situation, but hopefully it can give you some sort of help while you're figuring out your own plans. One of the most important and first things you should do is to set a date and buy your ticket. I gave myself about 1 month to take care of everything, and I had literally nothing else to do except focus on this. So I was able to complete all of these tasks in that time, but I will say that I did feel a little rushed. I also recommend printing out a few copies of your plane ticket because you might need them for some things like canceling your phone contract and applying for your pension refund. At the time, I had actually signed a contract and moved in a few months prior. So that made me worried, but I actually had a pretty good relationship with my landlords. So I called them and let them know about my situation, and I asked if I could end my contract. And they were very understanding and wished me well and said that they would contact the realtor. So after that, the realty office found someone else to move in within a few weeks, and I also had to pay them a fee that was about 200,000 won to do this. And on the day that the new person moved in, they sent their key money to the homeowners, and they returned my key money that same day. This is the longest section and the most boring for me to talk about and for you to do, but probably the most important part. So this part is going to include utilities, phone plan, your pension, taxes, and bank accounts. For utilities, my realty office organized everything. They contacted each of the utility companies, and when I moved out, they gave me this piece of paper that had how much money I owed each company and which bank number I had to send that amount to. For phone plans, I recommend that you call and ask how to cancel your plan in advance. And depending on your plan, you may need to pay fees to cancel like I did. What I did was I called them a few weeks in advance and I asked them how I could cancel it and when I could cancel it. And basically, the rep told me that I could go in person to specific locations to cancel my contract, or I could call them and do it over the phone. I don't remember if she said anything in regards to time. I waited until the second to last day, and my friend helped me to call the company and do everything over the phone. So the company emailed me a form, I signed it on my phone, sent it back, and I think within the hour my phone service was ended. I know I mentioned earlier that you need a plane ticket to cancel your phone contract, but I didn't need one for my situation, but it could be different for you, so I would definitely ask and make sure. For taxes, depending on your personal situation and when you leave, you may or may not need to do them. So I can't really give you much information on this. There's already tons of great blog posts and videos out there about how to take care of the taxes. And I've also heard that there are some English-speaking accountants in Itaewon who can help you. Some people choose to close their bank accounts. I kept mine open because I plan on visiting in the future. So I spoke with reps from my banks and they said that there wasn't any harm in keeping them open. And I actually was able to use one of them to pay for something while being here. So definitely hang on to your public certificate, the thing on your USB or saved onto your computer, because it's definitely important, and I believe it expires after a year, but you might need it after you come back. I actually went to these offices in person, and I will be making a video later on that. But for the health insurance, I read in a blog post that you need to let them know at least a month in advance so they can take care of everything. But when I went in, a staff member told me that foreigners are billed a month in advance, so I wouldn't have to worry since my departure date would be covered by my last payment. But I would call and ask to confirm just in case. For the pension, again, I went in person. They took a copy of my plane ticket and filled out an application form for me. They also asked me to pick which bank account I want the funds to be sent to. And you can also do this process online and also the airport. But I would double check the airport because, pandemic. I left in February, and at that time, to get on the plane, you needed to show negative test results that were issued within the last 72 hours of your departure. So I went in 3 days before my flight and took the test in the morning, received the results in the afternoon, and then I went back to the hospital the next day and requested a paper document. And I will have a link to the hospital I went to in the description box in case you need it. This phrasing sounds weird, but take advantage of your health insurance if you have it. While all of this was going on, I went to the dentist multiple times, also got some blood work done, and everything I did cost less than $1,000 US. I know for some people it's not easy to say goodbye, and I know it's also difficult to meet people, especially now, but I think you should at least update the people who were a part of your life while in Korea. Have a phone call, video chat, grab coffee. You can always come back or see them in another part of the world. So yeah, it's not goodbye forever. It'll be okay. So it's really easy to ship your stuff by going to the post office. Use these forms for surface shipping, which means your stuff will be sent by boat. And you have to pay for the boxes, but the tape is free to use. I sent 4 of the number 5 boxes and they cost me about 50,000 won each. The boxes each took less than 2 months to arrive. Some of them were a little little banged up, but they weren't that bad. But I wouldn't send anything fragile or anything that you need right away. If you're in the US, you can take that tracking number and put it into the USPS website, and you can sign up for text and email updates through their website as well. I lived in Korea for about 3 years and had so much stuff by the end. It was mostly like kitchen and like home stuff, but I was actually able to sell or donate a lot of the things that I couldn't bring back with me. And I used Facebook groups and 당근 Market to do this. So on Facebook, you can find foreigner, expat for sale groups. I used those to sell and give away some of my items. I sold bigger things like my bed, mattress, desk, and chairs on 당근 Market. That's an app that lets you sell things in your local and nearby neighborhoods. And it's all in Korean. I think you can set the language to English, but people will be messaging you in Korean. So that was a little difficult for me, but I was able to figure it out and sell my stuff. You can also donate things to the Beautiful Store or 아름다운 가게. They are a chain of charity stores that use their profits to help the local community. If you live in the Hongdae area, there's one located by the Mangwon station. Okay, lastly, do the things on your bucket list. Do the things that you've been meaning to do, the things that you've been putting off. Eat the foods that you know you'll miss. Take those pictures that you've been meaning to take. Shop for gifts. Go on that hike. Buy that thing that you always wanted to buy. I don't know. Just enjoy the time that you have before you go. What I did was I ate a lot of trendy food, things I know I can't get back in the States, and I also checked out a lot of places that I've been meaning to go to. And that included the neighborhood that I grew up in when my family lived in Korea. And it was a really good and surreal experience because I never expected to be there as an adult. But yeah, I'm going to make a video about that later. Whew. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I'm assuming that you're probably gonna take some of these steps soon. So good luck, and I know at times it's gonna be difficult and it'll be frustrating and awful, but you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay, and you're gonna be okay. I hope this video helped. I'll try to get those other videos up soon, so please keep a lookout for those, and I'll see you later. Bye!